Yo, 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 it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, coming back again with another court case update. Y'all, so we know last week the former Douglas County probate judge, Christina Peterson, was arrested at an Atlanta nightclub for allegedly hitting a police officer. We all know the story that she told. She was trying to break up a fight, and the police officer allegedly was being rough with the young lady who was involved in the incident, so she pretty much stepped in. Unfortunately, this incident that took place put the icing on the cake. Peterson was sworn in as probate judge in December of 2020. Yesterday, Georgia's highest court, which is the Supreme Court, ordered the removal of Peterson effective immediately and prohibited her from holding any judicial office in the state of Georgia for 7 years. It was in a unanimous agreement that Ms. Peterson exhibited a pattern of judicial misconduct while in office. In September of 2021, the Judicial Qualifications Commission, aka the JQC, filed formal charges against her alleging violations of the Code of Judicial Conduct. The charges were amended in February of 2022 and then again in July of 2022, bringing the total of 50 counts of alleged conduct. 20 counts were dismissed before and during the final hearing, which only left the JDC with only 30 counts to address. So let's get into what is going on with, well, what has happened in her case, I should say. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now I'm going to go ahead and change the back screen. So this is the Supreme Court of Georgia's case docket. And as you can see, she had a number of cases that were filed against her. So as you can see, the first three inquiry concerning Judge Christina Peterson, and then we have Christina versus the Judicial Qualifications Commission, which judgment was rendered back on, let's see, 2022. I don't want to click on it because it does show personal information, but you guys are more than welcome to go on there and look for yourself. This is public record. Then we have two, her versus the homeowners association, and then this here is the judgment against Christina, was Christina versus Vi. But you are more than welcome to go on this court docket and look for yourself to be nosy. But other than that, as you can see, here is the inquiries concerning, and then you have the Judicial Qualifications Commission. Now, let's get into the actual opinion that was given by the committee. I'll bring that up, and I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to show you a snippet. I will post the link in the description box below for you guys. I said below for you guys to go ahead and check it out for yourself. So as you can see, it was decided yesterday, June 25th, 2024. And per quorum just means that it was a unanimous agreement. Everybody did not object to what took place yesterday. So briefly, it says, we have explained before that the judiciary's judgment will be obeyed only so as the public respects it, and that respects will not long survive judges who act in a manner that undermines public confidence in their judgment and integrity. In this case, Douglas County Probate Court Judge Christina Peterson has been charged with a number of violations of the Code of Judicial Conduct, including a number of violations that the Judicial Qualifications Commission says exhibited a pattern of judicial misconduct while in office. The JQC hearing panel found that Judge Peterson violated multiple rules of the CJC and that those violations warrant her removal from the bench. We agree that removal is warranted here. As we explain more below, the hearing panel found that the director proved by clear and convincing evidence 28 of 30 counts alleging that Judge Peterson violated the CJC and that the discipline is authorized under the Georgia Constitution for 20 of those 28 counts. With respect to all 20 of those counts, we conclude that the hearing panel's findings are not clearly erroneous. And we agree with and affirm the hearings panel's conclusion that Judge Peterson's misconduct warrants discipline with respect to 12 of them because the director met her burden of showing that Judge Peterson's conduct constituted willful misconduct in office or conduct prejudicial to the administration of justice, which brings the judicial office into disres- uh, disrepute. And then they give us a little bit of case law. The seriousness of certain of those violations, the pattern of misconduct the director proved by clear and convincing evidence, and the admir's demeanor and credibility determinations the hearing panel made after observing live testimony from Judge Peterson all contribute to the conclusion we reached today. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go through all of this, but through this, I do want to show you a couple of things. So, as we can see, September 21, as I stated, that they filed formal charges against her. But one of the most disturbing things that the court actually reviewed, and I'm going to get down to it, page 12, if anybody wants to start. I'm just going to read a snippet of what this lady did. Oh. All right, so with respect to counts 31 to 34, the hearing panel found the following facts pertaining to Judge Peterson's handling of criminal contempt matter. So, before this incident with the club thing, she has been receiving so many complaints, which led to a number of violations. But as the how can I say this? And I'm trying to use just basic terms. So you have somebody that investigates. So if you bring in a complaint, somebody has to investigate. So someone investigated and looked more into this and actually found several violations. And so this is one of the violations that I'm briefly going to read that kind of led the panel to unanimously remove her from office because the things that she was doing was pretty much unconstitutional and it went against Georgia's set constitution. But we're going to read this. On August 2nd, 2021, a petitioner who is a naturalized United States citizen but born in Thailand filed in the Douglas County Probate Court a petition to amend her marriage license application, which she had filed with the court back in May 2016. The petitioner sought to correct the name she had listed as her father's name on the marriage license application. In support of her petition, the petitioner attached a copy of her birth certificate, which had been translated from Thai into English. The copy said that the document was not recommended as a legal document. After reviewing the petition to amend, Judge Peterson issued on August 12th, 2021, a notice of trial or hearing, which informed the petitioner that she was required to attend an in person hearing on her petition on August 24th, and that the court reporting services would be provided only if the petitioner arranged for them. The notice made no mention of any charges of contempt and did not advise the petitioner that she was entitled to have counsel present. At the hearing on the petition to amend, which was not transcribed, the petitioner presented the copy of the translated birth certificate, and Judge Peterson concluded that it was fictitious, fraudulent, forged. The petitioner explained to Judge Peterson that she previously had listed her uncle's name rather than her father's name on her marriage license application in 2016 because her father was not involved in her life and her uncle had raised her. Judge Peterson ultimately determined that the petitioner was trying to defraud the court and held her in contempt. The contempt order stated that the petitioner willfully provided false information on the marriage application. It was a mistake. She didn't willfully provide it. It was simple. It was a mistake. The court had been alerted to the fraudulent misrepresentations on August 2nd, 2021, when the petitioner filed the petition to amend marriage record. And the petitioner was in blatant disregard of the laws of the state of Georgia, and that this court evidenced by her fraudulent misrepresentation to the court via her filings with the court. And then this kind of goes through the testimony that Judge Peterson gave to the hearing panel. You guys can definitely go back to that. So Judge Peterson sentenced the petitioner, who was only trying to fix her application, to the maximum allowable term of incarceration for contempt, which is 20 days in jail, but allowed her to purge herself of the contempt order after serving 2 days if she paid a $500 fine. After the petitioner served 2 days in the Douglas County Jail and paid $500 fine, she was released from custody. The hearing panel found that Judge Peterson provided neither a firm nor a proper basis when she held the petitioner in contempt and without explanation or justification imposed the maximum term of incarceration plus a fine. It determined that the petitioner, who testified before the panel, was in good faith trying to correct what appeared to be an innocent mistake born out of ignorance rather than ill intent. The hearing panel noted that Judge Peterson testified that the petitioner sought to amend her marriage license application so that her mother could immigrate from Thailand to the United States. Although Judge Peterson could not explain how the amendment would assist the petitioner in obtaining immigration documents for her mother, whereas the petitioner testified that she became aware of the mistake on her marriage license application while she was completing immigration documents for her mother and believed that she should correct the application so that it would not be inconsistent with her birth certificate. The hearing panel expressly credited the petitioner's testimony over Judge Peterson's. So, this is one of many counts of how Judge Peterson, or former Judge Peterson, abused her powers. It was a simple mistake. The lady was not trying to be fraudulent in any way. There was no ill intent. And luckily, I am so happy that the courts don't base their judgment off of hearsay. They have to look at evidence. So this panel had a hearing in which that petitioner who filed that back in 2016 had to present to them and tell her side of the story. Then Judge Peterson had to tell her side of the story. Then, based off of the evidence that they gathered, they said, okay, the petitioner's testimony was more credible based off of the evidence that we have here versus what Judge Peterson gave us. So I'm interested as to what you guys think about former probate judge Christina Peterson. Do you think that she deserved to be removed from the panel based off of what she did? Please, please, please go read this decision before you formulate your opinions, because we just don't want to formulate based off of one incident, in addition to the arrest that happened last week. But definitely thank you for checking this out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, be blessed. I'm out.